growing luminous. On the mystic path, we create our own light. And at first, we struggle blind and baffled, seeing nothing, hearing nothing, unable to think, unable to imagine. We seem deserted by dream, vision, or inspiration, and our meditation barren altogether. But let us persist through weeks and months, and sooner or later, that stupor disappears. Our faculties readjust themselves and do the work we will them to do. Never did they do their work so well. The dark caverns of the brain begin to grow luminous. We are creating our own light. George William Russell.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mary, for reading from the back cover of this year's 2025 Almanac, which has this the theme, Light on the Path. So that growing luminous theme appears here on the back cover. So thank you very much for sharing that. We want to welcome all of you to today's episode, shall we say, in Gems from the Wisdom Traditions, a conversation circle that we sponsor here at Still and Living Center every Saturday at 3 p.m. Hawaii time. We take up a theme from our almanac each week, and this week's theme is body and soul. And I feel as if this theme could probably not be covered any better than by Dustin Hara. Dustin Hara has grown up in the world of music, and he grew up actually in a church setting in which gospel music what was played. And so I think all of us probably can connect that idea of soul music with gospel. And I know that he has gone beyond that as well. And yet coming from those roots and then reaching farther out, I think that he's a wonderful person to present this topic of body and soul to us from the tradition of music. So Dustin.
Aloha, everybody. Aloha, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So nice to see all of your beautiful faces. Thanks, Renee, for considering me to share on this particular subject. And as you mentioned, I do have quite a bit of life journey, I would say, history on this particular topic. I'd love to share a little bit with you guys in a nutshell, kind of my story, my journey into the soul made manifest in the body, we could say. But before we get into that, I want each of you to think of a song, a really meaningful song, something that you know the words easily to, a song that's very meaningful to you. And it could be a song from a very challenging time in life. It could be from a very joyous time in life. It could be a very sentimental song, or maybe it's just a fun tune that always gets stuck in your head whenever you hear it. Whatever the intention behind that song, just think of that and hold on to that, and we'll come back to that at a little bit of a later point in today's conversation. I really love this topic and this idea of body and soul. And it's quite interesting when we consider the different aspects and the different faculties of the body and soul. And there are some other elements of the self, as the spirit, the mind, and these different aspects. But today's focus on the body and soul. And just a little bit on about my background, I would say an introduction to the first time that a deep connection, actually happened between my body and my soul. And that's not to say that we aren't all born innately with this connection in the body and the soul, or that we all don't have a body and a soul. But I think there are significant moments in each of our life, if we think back to where there was an awareness or perhaps an introduction to the different aspects of the self. For me in particularly, it was a sort of miraculous musical intervention that was my soul's expression made manifest through song, and song being produced by my voice and by the ability, the knowledge in how to play an instrument. When I was really young, just quick story to give us some inspiration. So when I was young kid, I've always had this fascination with the piano, with the keys. I thought it was the coolest thing to sit at this giant, shiny, lacquered piece of furniture. And there's all of these black and white buttons on here, spanning beyond arm's length, that could make this almost angelic, beautiful sound, this music. And I thought it was the most complicated, incredible thing, and that it was magic. Every time I saw a great pianist, whether it was classical or alternative or even more bluesy, jazzy, gospel-y type of music. And so I had this fascination. On my 10th birthday, my parents bought me a black, upright, lacquered Kawai piano, 88 keys. Kawai makes beautiful pianos. And sent me to lessons. And they sent me to the best, at the time, the best piano teacher in Hawaii, Sasaki. Very expensive, classical, formal piano training. Definitely was not mindful, I would say, in that old school training. We had to balance the quarters on our wrists, and if the quarter fell off, we would get a whack with a bamboo rod, and you're like, put the quarter back on. And so it was a really interesting experience. After the first couple of months, my mom was losing her mind with all the dust and fingerprints on the black lacquer of the piano. And so we switched it out and got a white lacquered version of this Kawai piano. And this piano stayed with me all the way through, till I moved out of my parents' home. So I went to these lessons for about 2.5 years and tried my best. And I think we can all recall memories where something we really wanted to do that we thought was so cool, but we just struggled to figure it out, to get it. And for me, piano and music was one of those things. I felt it in me, but I just didn't know how to connect my body to express that music that I could hear or sense within myself. And it was very frustrating. I remember actually getting very upset also because of these rigid lessons and the inability to express or communicate song. And so eventually, after 2.5 years, my father said, well, that's enough. We've, spent all this money on this piano where we can't continue to pay these top dollar lessons. And all I could play was, bing, 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 bing. Oh, 2 fingers. Bing, bing, bing. It was a seemingly bad investment at that time. So packed it up. It was one of those dreams that kind of gave up on and just packed it all the way down and said, well, I guess I wasn't meant to be a musical person. Fast forward about 5 or 6 years later, this is when I'm maybe 15 or 16, just becoming a young man, becoming of age and entering the teenage world. I went to my first big conference for church with fellow teens that were in our youth group. And at this conference, the speakers were very radical, I would say, very spirit-filled and progressive in their preaching style and approach. On the last night of this conference, they made it a point that they were going to pray and hold hands with some sort of contact touch with every single teen that was in this conference. And this was at a big church on Red Hill. There was probably over 1,000 teens at this conference. So the last night they instruct us in sections. Your section 1, go and line up around the inside of this, big sanctuary of the church. And then they would go and pray with each and every person. Then the next section goes. And I would see some of the teens having this most bizarre sort of response to these individual prayers. People would cry, people would laugh, people would shake, some would fall to the ground. For me, being a teen of that age, I was like, well, that's just a show. They're putting on some sort of spirit-filled show, and like, I'm cool, like, I'm not going to put on a show because I'm tough. I can handle the prayer. And so we went up, and I'm in the last group, and as they're coming down, the speakers, I can feel this shaking, this energy that I've never experienced before. And to this day, I don't know if it was fear or excitement or reverence or the sense of something sacred, the sense of something much bigger than anything I'd ever encountered. Maybe a combination of all those things. And when they got up to me, I completely just blacked out. Never even got to the point where they, I remember a point of contact happening, but I remember being in the position, like martial arts, like I was ready, just like hands up, like you're not going to make a show out of me, sort of a thing. While I was out, my friends and teens that were there said I was on the ground. I had fallen to the ground, and my hands were up in the air as if I was playing a keyboard, piano in the air. Okay? And I have no recollection of this, zero recollection. It seemed just like a couple of seconds. I was like, oh, what happened? So that was done. A couple months later, fast forward, my father, we were really involved in our church. My father got offered and promoted to a pastoral position in the church we were going at. This is up in Palisades, small little Assembly of God church up on the hill. And one of his first things was he wanted to host his own conference at his church now, invite his fellow pastors, and they bring their people and kind of a coronation celebration. So he plans this big get-together, this big celebration service. Just so happens right before the service, a couple of days before, the professional piano player in the band at the church that my father was now running, had a family emergency, and he had to leave to move to the mainland and pack up. So my father was like, oh, perfect. This is a divine moment from God that all the time and money he invested in his eldest son, this is the moment now where it was all destined to be for this opportunity, this golden opportunity, perfect timing, right? In his mind. In my mind, I'm like, you gotta be crazy. Like, this is a nightmare that you have where you're being put onto a stage, having to perform in front of crowds of hundreds of people with a professional band, and you have absolutely no idea how to do this. Never even been on stage, never played a song, So this is happening, and I'm trying to explain to him that, Dad, like, that's not how it works. Like, if you remember, the lessons never progressed, which is why we quit. You remember you said, no more, I'm not progressing. And he's like, oh, no. I remember that you were doing really, really well. And I think that money went to really good use. And this, you got to have faith, you got to not rely on the spirit. And I'm like, what are you talking about right now? Faith? Like, are you crazy? And so this night happens. I'm like, is this really happening? He's like, yes, you're going to play tonight. Like, God is going to use you. I'm like, okay. So there's a full band. I mean, literally guitar, drums, bass, like choir. I mean, these people are professional musicians. The service is starting. There's hundreds of people coming in. And it's literally this stage. You have to walk up on this stage with all these lights shining down on it. There's like a giant cross that's lit behind the keyboard. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, And so I'm dripping in sweat. Teenage boy just dripping in sweat, going up there. The team leader comes and gives me these sheets of music and say, "Oh, here's the music. The songs are all in an easy key." I'm like, "What key? What does that even mean, key?" You know? She said, "Oh no, everything's right here. You just gotta flow." I'm like, "Flow? What does flow mean?" You know? So then it starts. This service starts, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So I turn off the keyboard, just like turn it off power. And I'm like, okay, there's a full band. They probably won't notice, you know, if I just kind of act like I'm doing some ad libs, then they'll think, oh, he's cool. So they're playing the song, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just like, you know, yeah, yeah, ooh, oh, gospel chord, you know. First song passes. Then the second song's gonna start, and I see her, the music director, who we ended up becoming the best of friends, and she became like a Hanai mom to me later. She's signaling to the sound techs who are up kind of in a loft at the back of the sanctuary, "I can't hear the keys, turn it up. I can't hear the keys, turn it up." So they start the second song, and then I see the sound technicians, they're like, you know, they got the earphones, they're checking plugs. I'm like, oh my God, no, you know. That song ends, then she's looking at them like, okay, what's up? What happened with the keyboard? He's playing, how come I can't hear it? And I'll forever dread this hand sign, because you'll learn it when you become a musician, which is this or this. And this means there's no power. There's no power. There's no sound flowing through. Basically, in sound, whenever we're trying to troubleshoot, if you see this, it's like there's no power. Check the power source. So then I see them doing this, and she's like, ah. So she walks back over to me, and this is on the stage in front of all these people. Like, can you believe this is happening, right? She walks back over to me in like Matrix slow motion. I felt like with the guitar, like dodging musical notes coming to. But she walks to me, turns on the keyboard, pushes up the volume, and looks at me and just says, "Honey, just flow." Starts the third song. I'll never forget the song. It was this old hymn called "His Banner Over Me Is Love." And they start the song, and so I say, okay, well, God, you put me in this situation at my dad's coronation service in front of hundreds of people, not even just like the normal church. All his friends' church is here. And these people are forcing me to this situation. So, you know, you want me to just ruin this whole celebration, and fine, then I'm going to do it, because I'm not left with any choice. And inside of me, there was just this decision where I equate it to when I recently, we celebrated our anniversary, me and my husband, we went skydiving. That's the only moment that I can compare it to, that feeling. It was this moment of decision that you are up all the way up to this point, and the last thing left is you just have to jump. That's the best way I can describe it. And so I was like, okay. And I went to hit the keys, and in that moment, it was like electricity, some sort of electric force. This chills, this presence shot up my hands all the way through to like the core of me, to my head. And I somehow immediately knew which keys to hit. There was some sort of deep recollection of something perhaps that I had learned when I was going to piano lessons, but I was never able to express at that time and at that age. Something deep connected, and I was immediately able to have an understanding of how to express sound and music. And so I'm just like, oh my God, you know, and then of course I look and I see my dad. He's like, yeah, you know, see, praise the Lord. No. I'm just like, you're terrible. But and so that was like a significant moment with a leap of faith of something that was there that I didn't know was there. A connection, a bridge that needed to happen between the soul to the physical body in order to make manifest the intention of song, of sound in this particular case, and of music. And it's really interesting if we think about this idea of the expression of the soul, and it goes beyond, this is one small path of expression of our soul. There's so many different beautiful and miraculous ways that we're able to express heart, express soul, express emotion, express intention. And that can come through movement, that can come through the written word, the spoken word. It can come through design. It can come through colors. It can come through our ability to create a spectacular meal. There's so many different ways through experience, through the way that we cultivate our relationships, through our body language. And beyond just song and music, our ability to understand the clarity and the importance of the technical aspect of the body allows us to really enhance the deep intention of the soul. And so in music and in song, our ability to learn and understand technique and really be on this never-ending journey of improving our skill, our understanding of musical language, of musical theory, of different ways of creating sound in the voice, like staccato, vibrato, tremolo, understanding enunciation and diction, understanding the importance of tempo and timing, understanding volume control, the ability to increase volume, to pull back on volume, the beauty that's in the higher notes, how it can create this very ethereal, celebratory, and joyful sort of expression. And then going down into lower or minor notes, how that can really communicate perhaps struggle and sadness or a challenge. Our ability to understand and then utilize these different aspects in song and in music allow us to really connect the soul of the self with the soul of another. And one of the most beautiful ways and most powerful ways of expressing the soul through the body in music is, we call it an out-of-body experience, is the way a lot of people will reference it. That we'll hear a piece of music, we'll go to a concert, it stops us kind of in our seat and we're suddenly fully present, yet sometimes can be completely far away even through that music. That the song can take us on a journey, take us to a place. It can allow us to recall deep memories, sometimes deep hurt, deep pain, and other times incredible joy, incredible celebration. And I know we reference that term out-of-body experience, but I'd also like for us to consider that it could be a deep inner body experience. And perhaps when we're able to express the intention, the desire of the soul, in this case through song and through music, through the voice, the vocal box, or through an instrument using our body, that we can invite people into ourselves and into our own experience. And I think that's a really powerful and beautiful thing that we see in perhaps one of the songs that I asked you to think about, and we'll get to that. Perhaps there's a deep meaning in that to you personally because of an experience or because of a particular moment or because of the lyrics and the way those lyrics are expressed. We're able to connect deeply with a particular piece of music. So let's try a little activity, a little interactive activity. And I'll give an example first, and then I'll have you you folks can do it on mute because obviously we all have different songs. But I'll give you an example. And there's a song that I really love. It was one of the first songs that I learned being a part of a full gospel choir when I first got into music, and I learned so much. It's also a wonderful scripture reference, and the song is called "His Eye is on the Sparrow." I'll just sing one part of the chorus, and I'm just going to sing it to sing it. Okay, so there's no hidden intention, but I'm going to sing it the way that the song was written, just in a simple melody. So it goes, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Okay, it's very simple, very straightforward. Now I want you to recall the song that you chose at the beginning of our conversation, and just sing one part right now. I'll give you 30 seconds. On mute, you can just sing it, with yourself, and just sing it the way that you know it was written. Okay, so you can go ahead. Okay, very good. So what's really interesting, we're going to do it one more time, but just a good example of how different aspects of technique can really play on this soul's expression, in this case through song and voice or sound. And I'll give you an example. A little handpan drum like this. Perhaps when you hear a sound like this, it might bring up feelings or thoughts of happiness, playfulness, wonder, maybe magic, even a little ethereal. We could consider a sound created by a chime. And perhaps when you hear that sound, it brings a sense of alertness or awareness or attention. It could be clearing for you, or kind of a resetting sound for you, or an awakening sound. And consider a sound from a big, beautiful crystal bowl. That could bring up feelings perhaps of reverence, thoughts of mindfulness. It could be very calming, very grounding, very centering. And so it's interesting to recognize how different sounds, different tones, different pitches and tempo of sound really affect the experience. Okay? Now, I want us to think about the same song that we just sang, and then I'm gonna sing my song again, and then we're gonna have you sing your song again. And if you just close your eyes for a moment, you can take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax the body, relax your shoulders. And when we think about that particular song and the words, what are the feelings that we feel? What are some of the emotions that we can identify with? Why do we connect with that particular piece of music? Maybe it's the lyrics, maybe it's the tune. Like we talked earlier, maybe it's a memorable experience. Could be either challenging or joyful. Okay. And so I'm going to sing the same song again with this intention of the soul. I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Okay, so now I want you to go ahead and sing the same song that you sang earlier from your soul and express that intention that we just went some of those thoughts. Okay, so go ahead in 3, 2, 1. All right. Wonderful. Thank you guys for participating. I just loved watching all of you, some of you with great joy, some of you with complete freedom and release, others very focused. And I think it's just such an incredible ability that we have to share what's in our soul, in the heart, our experiences, that we're able to express that with people and then connect with each other through the body, through the physical faculties of the body. I'd love to go around, and I'll pass it back to Renee, but I'd love to go around and if you want to mention the song that you sang and what is your experience, what is your connection to that song, I think that would be lovely to hear. Renee?
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. That was so wonderful to do. I was back as about a 5-year-old. I was in a little white dress, and I was singing in a little gospel children's choir that I happened to be in, the song "This Little Light of Mine."
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, it has come to be one of our mottos for Still and Moving Center: claim your magnificence, claim your light. And I wonder if maybe it goes all the way back to when I was 5 years old, singing my heart out. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
That's
How about
amazing.
other folks?
So I just want to say that I kind of cheated a little bit. I felt very exposed, just like making faces and singing. So rather, I just play real quick my favorite song that I was thinking of. And all I wanted to do was to dance. So it was a little different. It was not my voice, it was not music coming, but my body. I felt at first I heard it and I didn't feel like dancing. I was just very focused on like listening to the song. And then the second time it was intention. Like my heart rate right now is really hard. I was like, I'm feeling this. I love this song. So it was a very interesting experience to see myself before and after, and the impact that I had in me to like listen with intention and from the inside out. So thank you for that. And my song was love and happiness, but happy.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sharadi. Dishan? Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you so much, Dustin, for sharing your experience. I'm feeling the chills right now. I feel like I'm having the similar goosebump movements of how you shared all your experiences, and I'm processing in my body at the moment. Um, but I shared the journey of the song which I chose. I kind of imposed my song on Jade here because we are sharing the space with each other. I chose the song Perfect by Ed Sheeran because it took me to my moment of the time when I had proposed her in front of my community. And the emotions and I think the feelings of why that song played a very big role was bringing everyone together as community and celebrating everyone, giving a space for everyone where they can shine, while at the same time I get the chance to shine my own voice of love for her. And um, yeah, it
Oh,
just brought those emotions out. To
that's so lovely. Thank you for sharing, Dishan.
Juanita, go for it. We want to hear.
Hi, everyone. So I came in late, and so then when you said the whole song thing, I was like, So I mean, I was raised in the Baptist Pentecostal church. So when you sang my His Eyes on the Sky, I was like, oh yes, yes, I remember where I was. But I sang the verse. So why should I feel?
Uh-huh.
It just like, so I started off dancing in the church. So hearing you sing that and then having the space to think about well, kind of frantically think about space about what I wanted to sing. And then that just, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sing that. And then it just really connected where I am in my life. Like, why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadow, like, I was like, oh, yeah, that is like connecting to where I am in my life right now. And then it kind of like zoomed into like me praise dancing in church, and then just like you again, like when you were saying the outer body experience, like just kind of like how I felt during that, and just yeah, it helped me to remember where I first started. So I thank you for that. I thank you for sharing that. So thank you.
Thanks, Marnita. Okay. Who else? Kim.
I also was like coming in, and when you're saying song, I had no clue what kind was what we were supposed to do, so I apologize for being late. But I was just sitting here, and I said, I don't know what I'm going to sing, and it just came from the outside. That song, "Mary, Do You Know?" And it just brings back to singing in church and just being able to feel free and praise God wherever I want and whenever I want. And so that just gives me such a hope that, Mary, did you know that your son was going to be such a major thing in our lives and in my life? So that was the song that came. So thank you. And I just loved your story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Kim. Yeah, that's a wonderful, I love that song as well, Mary, did you know? Talking about Mary, Auntie Mary.
Aloha, everybody.
Aloha.
Well, I was raised in a musical family also. My dad was the choir director at St. Patrick's Church in Kaimuki. So what I remember, the song that came to me for meaning was the Christmas carols. I love Christmas carols. And mine was Angels We Have Heard on High, because I love that chorus of Gloria and the tight harmonies. It just really does something in your heart and in your soul. And because I'm a part of the basic Christian community of Honolulu, or of Hawaii, we have a saying, those who sing pray twice.
Ooh.
Yep. Amen.
Hey, so everyone sing a little more. What else we got here? I see Billy. Thanks for joining us, Billy. Can you share your song, your experience? Oh. Okay, we can come back. Let's see, Kat. Oh, you gotta unmute.
There we go. Hi.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
I sang River by Leon Bridges. Because I grew up in the Catholic Church and I have spent years trying to figure out what my faith journey is. And whenever I sing Leon Bridges, I feel like he's the perfect like homecoming to growing up in the choir in the church and like feeling connected to God. And I feel like his lyrics are just really beautifully written and they feel universal. And I just feel like a traveler again when I listen to his words. And so when I sang it with more intention and feeling, I kind of felt like I was singing in church. So it was really nice to feel that's like one of the few songs I'll sing and not care if my voice sounds perfect or not. It just feels so good to feel those words and those rhythms come out of my body. So yeah, love his work.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. And we have the Morris. Oh, there you go, Billy.
Can you guys hear me okay? These are not very good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so it's funny, your story. I used to have a nightmare because I had drum lessons.
Oh.
And I had a lot of musician friends. We had a little garage band, but I really couldn't catch on that well. So I kind of put it down. But I had to fill in for a big rock band one time, and they said, "Oh, you play drums, Billy." So it's an arena show, and I was supposed to go out there, and it was just it's a nightmare is what it was. But anyways, um, so you kind of threw me off there. You said, "Oh, my favorite song," and I was like, "Well, I have a lot of favorite songs, but I wasn't even thinking church wise at all." And I was thinking like, "Oh, well, that Neil Young song." Cowgirl in the Sand is really stuck in my head. I didn't even know what it was. I just finally figured out, like, oh yeah, that's that song from 1969. And but then you got me going on church songs, and I realized I don't know all the words, but I love "How Great Thou Art." And I just know the verse, but yeah. So I'm back in the. I'm back feeling it. I get it too. It's that or just a couple choir songs, folk songs. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know the words to them, but here I am to bow down, here I am to worship. You're my God. That's one of my favorites that I
Oh,
sing.
that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know all the words, and I don't sing. In fact, when I'm in church, I mouth it just because there's a lot of good singers around me, and I'd rather let them express themselves. But I do put my hands up and I mouth it. You know what I mean? I feel it.
There you go. And
Yeah,
that's
thanks for inviting me, by the way. That's a great story.
Thanks, Billy. Yeah, so nice to see your face. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we have the Morisakis there, Doris. Uh-huh. I wonder what song you guys were singing.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I didn't really want to say anything, just because I wanted to escape route. But Dustin, Mark, and I are working on a piece for our open mic. And those of you who know me, I've never been known as a singer. And so in this year of the snake, I'm trying to push my boundaries, do something that makes me very uncomfortable. I think I found the perfect thing. So I was, just because I have been practicing in my car, been trying to, the song that we're going to perform on Valentine's Day for that open mic. And I think it just like a turning point. It's a very recent. I mean, the song itself is not recent, but the fact that I selected it for this event, and really leaning on Dustin to help me get through this, and then Mark's playing ukulele. I will say though, on a previous time when I had to emergency substitute for Malia's ukulele class, and Dustin and I held hands and he prayed over me, and it didn't work. Was not that something did not come through me, and I was still as bad as ever, and I just barely got through that 30 minutes. So
Doris.
I guess you got to believe, and maybe I had just that little bit of self-doubt was enough to just, God said, no, not you, not today. So yeah, the importance in belief is huge. I'll just say. But thank you. Beautiful. I mean, I've heard this story of Dustin's. It's just really, really miraculous. And, I don't get tired of hearing of it, because it just gives everyone so much hope, right? I mean, how can this even be? It makes no sense, but that's what makes it miraculous and amazing and wonderful. You have anything to add? No? Anyway, thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing. And Doris, you're doing a really great job on that song that we're going to sing on Valentine's. So you guys know, February, Valentine's evening, we have a wonderful love-themed open mic night at 7 p.m. So you all are welcome to join us for that. I see Margaret there. Margaret, you want to chime in?
My song is not from a church. It's pure imagination.
Ooh,
come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. That. And it's almost kind of sad because it's kind of an escapist song. I mean, I love imagination. And I think the part that kind of hits me in the heart so much is come with me. Come with me. So not wanting to be alone in that beautiful imagination or whatever I'm creating in my mind. Like maybe I see the person out there on the alleyway on her bike. Where's she going? I can make a beautiful story. You want to come with me and we'll see what she's doing. So I just love the sound of that. I heard not contestants, the cast of Glee sing it. And that was incredible. And it started with the chime. Ding, ding, come with me. I mean, it was just beautiful. And I think it's just those first 3 notes. It just really hit me. But there are songs that, it seems like songs I can really tune into and make me cry. A little Oi can make me cry. And my dad was in the Navy. Anchors Away would make him cry. But I have this great imagination or fantasy that one of the best things in the world would be to be able to sing like Barbra Streisand in front of a big old orchestra. And you could just sing your heart out. And that just seemed like the best. But I've never been a singer, so it's all in my imagination. So.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt here. Dustin also has a workshop, singing workshop coming up. Is it this month? This month.
It is this month.
This month. Yes. So let us not be limited by our belief that we cannot sing. Um,
But take a leap of faith into your imagination and come take the workshop.
Yeah, I took your first workshop
You
and I really
did.
liked it.
You did. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So we're gonna go
It
to the
was.
next step on this next one. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, we have a few minutes left. I want to get everyone in there. I see Yuko. Hi, Yuko. You want to share with us your song and a memory or what you like about that song?
Hi,
Hi.
I don't know what I talk. I was late. I couldn't find the link, and I didn't hear. I missed the in the beginning, and
Oh.
I didn't know this one is something we are singing.
It was a surprise.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
surprise. But
Mhm.
yeah, the song or music, I really like the music.
Mhm.
No music, no life, like that. So sometimes I can feel some plants making the music, depends on the wood or plants or mushroom. I heard about different health.
Frequency. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And exercise also always different music and different motion. I'm really interested about the music and the wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so true. Music is such a big part of all of our lives in so many different aspects. And we're so grateful to be able to express it and enjoy it and connect to each other through it. Yeah. Thank you, Yuko. And Lisa, I see you there. How's it going? Mhm.
So my brain was kind of all over the place. When you initially said of a song, I thought about this U2 song. I still haven't found what I was looking for, and that was a rough time in my life. Um, and then I kind of went to um, my now personal mantra, which is Om Mani Padme Hum, um, which took me through a journey of just becoming accepting who I was and becoming the best me possible as a journey for my life. And then I circled all the way back to childhood. And my sisters and I, when we were about we're all 1 year apart, maybe 4, 5, 6. And in the evening, when my mom used to cook dinner, we'd have the hymn book out. And that's what we would do. We'd sing while my mom was cooking dinner. And back then it was in a house my dad built, and we didn't have running electricity at that point. So we had a lantern, and the three of us would sing. And one of the songs was Jesus Loves the Little Children.
Oh.
And I think at the time our life wasn't easy.
Mhm.
And that was one of those good points, one of those things that you would look forward to.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I kind of circled all over my life. Yeah, so that's it.
That's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa. That's a great example of the power of that soul expression of song and music and the ability to recall such significant moments in our life. And last but not least, Jody, I see you're there. Are you able to chime in? And then we'll hand it back over to Renee. I don't know if she's on the go.
Okay, I'm pulled over.
Oh.
I'm actually literally driving, Dustin. Or
Oh,
well,
shucks.
so no, you're good, you're good. But it's been so great to listen. I'm so grateful for technology that I could at least listen in,
Mm-hmm.
on the sessions, because it's been phenomenal and just fascinating. So yeah, my song was a lullaby that my mother sang to me when I was little, and then I sang to my daughter. And I found it really challenging to sing it without, the first time you said just sing it like just like straight, like normal. My eyes well up with tears. Period. like it's not possible to sing that song. And it's I don't know where it came from, but it goes. I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. I give my love a chicken that had no bone. Anyway, so I don't know if anybody knows what the name of that song is or where it came from. I guess I should look that up. um, but yeah, it's a song that links me to my daughter and who's 20 now, so she's all grown up. But if she has a bad day or a bad time, sometimes she'll call me and say, "Will you sing me the lullaby?" And that yeah, and I do. I'll still do it for her today. And so yeah, so just a good song that links me to my daughter. So.
That's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Jody. And that's amazing how that song that came from one generation can connect us to those people, all different people from our past and even to our kids and into the future. Yeah, really beautiful. Renee?
This was participatory in such a different way than we've ever participated at GEMS that I can remember. Always been coming to GEMS with me since we started this in early 2020, and I don't remember another GEMS sharing like this, and it was very moving and community binding. I feel so much more connected with every single one of you as a result of your sharing, even though we never, well, with a few exceptions, thank you for the exceptions, we mostly didn't hear each other's voices except for Dustin's. I don't know, there was just something so powerful about this experience, and very soulful and very much embodied. I found it really interesting to consider what you were saying, Destin, about sometimes we talk about an out of body experience through music, and how maybe that's actually a deep inner body experience. And when we talk about deep inner body, we're probably getting to something that's much more subtle and much more connected with soul. It's very powerful. I'm going to let you consider if anybody would, which of you would like to give a vote of thanks to Dustin, and I'm going to tell you about next week's GEMS. Next week on February 8th, we have the topic of life atoms, with the underlying idea that everything is alive. Everything. And speaking to us will be Sarah Hodges, who has been really taken by the Vipassana meditation practice, the 10-day silent retreats. And in the Vipassana practice, there's something called the Kalepas. And I think that's very related to this idea of these life atoms that make up our bodies and everything. So that will be, I think, fascinating to hear from her about that. The week after that is going to be the religion of responsibility. And our yoga teacher, Robin Shepherd, who is quite a student of literature, is going to give us a presentation on the Charles Dickens' story of Great Expectations. And he was writing at a time when the industrial age was gaining so much force, and it was making workers just like these soulless cogs and machines. And so this religion of responsibility for our fellow human beings seems to be something that comes through really strongly in Charles Dickens' work. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Okay, so a little vote of thanks. Does somebody like to offer to Dustin for today? You can just unmute and
I just like to say thank you to Dustin. It's just uplifting. This last hour has just been so encouraging, and your stories are amazing and fun to hear. You can hear them over and over. It was just really good, and you have a beautiful voice, and just thank you for sharing.
yeah. Oh, I think we have at least one more person who's going to speak, but Sharoni, could you look up when Dustin's next two music workshops are going to be so we can let folks know about that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hishem, it looked as if you were unmuted. Jade?
Thank you so much, Dustin. It's always such a pleasure and delight to hear you sing. You really know how to make the time stop when you sing, and you sing really with your soul. It's so beautiful. It lighted up everybody's day even further and lifted all of our spirits. And thank you so much for sharing your journey and your stories. Both me and Shane found ourselves laughing and in suspense, and it's just so amazing, and you're amazing. And so thank you, Renee. Thank you, Dustin and Sharone and the team. This was a delight for us.
Yay. Thank you, Dustin. That was amazing. I found myself like everybody said, like going to the ups and down, like, oh, this is so exciting, so much suspense. This is great. Just thinking a lot, feeling a lot. So thank you so much. Dustin's next workshop will be Sunday, February 16 from 3 to 4:30 p.m. It's called Love Your Voice Workshop. It will be only in person, and it's coming up. So it's on the website, on the event. If you have any question, you can reach out to me, and I hope to see you there. I may be there too. Since I couldn't take the last one, Dustin. Thank you so much.
We also have another one with him in March that's going to happen before the birthday. And our birthday celebration will be on Sunday, March 16th. It will be our 14th birthday that we're celebrating. And anybody who wants to, who feels, inspired and empowered by having these experiences with Dustin, will be invited to join Dustin if you'd like to sing with him at our birthday. More than just happy birthday, I think. Everybody can do that.
So far, we have the Murasaki, so we need a few more recruits.
The Still Moving Center band. Or choir.
Or choir, yeah. Thank you all so much. It was just a delight to share this hour with you. I'm sure Dustin wouldn't mind staying on for another couple minutes. Anybody who wants to. Otherwise, a hui ho. Thank you so much, Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Aloha. Have a
Thank
blessed
you.
week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aloha.
Renee, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
On it, is like the live nights that you guys have on mic or any of the workshops, are they ever gonna maybe be online? So even though I'm in Hawaii, it would be so fun to be a part of them.
She's on Hawaii Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
Go
think
ahead.
we can definitely consider it. For the workshops, it's tricky for the online because the way a good portion of the workshops involves sort of breakout rooms with groups in person. And so it's a little challenging to incorporate online, but let me think about that. Let me see if I can come up with a good solution, because we'd love to have you there with us.
I wonder if you had enough of a cohort online that they could sort of do their own.
Maybe we could do an online workshop.
If somebody could be, doing the tech for Dustin, so he didn't have to deal with breakout rooms and so on.
Right. Like a facilitator, right? One of the staff just kind of overseeing that for sure.
Yeah, it's tricky because we go into groups and you're practicing certain things. So I
don't know. I'm sure you guys don't know, but I know when Kumu, when we have our Hawaiian language class, she breaks us out into groups, and then we go off and practice a little bit, and then we come back. So I don't know if that's an option, or if it's not. I just wanted to make a suggestion, because I think there's a lot of us out there that would love to take your workshop.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion.
And the mic night, we love to hear everybody.
So
I think the open mic night we can stream probably.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be difficult to do. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that is open. I think it was the one where it's the dance. I think that says in person. So maybe I'm getting them mixed up, that which is online and which is not.
Oh, for the love of dance.
Different event, yeah.
Dustin, I have a question.
Yes.
So you had brought out different musical instruments, such as your sound bowl, your chimes, and your handpan. I'm curious how you use those, or what other dimensions do you use them with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say on the different instruments, I think I utilize for different experiences. So on the performance or more collective group side, I will always usually play keyboard or piano is my more performative or group oriented instrument. But I also really like to just do music and sing and sound by myself as a form of sort of moving and musical meditation. And so these are a lot of the instruments that I'll use, because it doesn't require a lot of the first mind to be thinking about exact placement or picking of notes. I can more just have a repetitive motion and then kind of sing from the soul, sing out of the spirit, without that half of the mind being needing to focus on specific finger placement, like on a ukulele, a guitar, or a piano. And so it's a good meditation sort of a practice to be able to just flow from the soul, from the heart, and just sing without scripted music, without looking at music. And that's the purpose of why I have all of these at home. So that's what I'll just do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
I have a follow-up question, but I'll let someone else ask their question first.
Okay. No.
I was going to respond to Kim that I think we decided for the love of dance, we were getting such poor quality of sound out to people when we were trying to have different pieces of music, and then also which direction do the teachers face. It's very spontaneous. We're just gonna have one dance teacher coming up after another. We just thought we would be not giving a very high quality event to try to do that one hybrid.
That's fine. Yeah, that I understand. I understand that completely. Thank you.
Yeah, but we just had Malia's music night that you attended last night, which is much more close to open mic night. So I would and we can do that one, no problem.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy to do.
Go for it, Jade.
Thank you. Dustin, I'm curious, what advice do you have for others who are kind of looking for that that instrument, whether it's that they want the soul to flow through? So for you, it sounds like it's your voice along with a couple of other instruments. What advice do you have for people that are kind of exploring where they want that voice to, what instrument they want that voice to flow through?
That's a great question. I would say that, and I think we talked earlier, like the soul's expression made manifest through the body can come through many different creative or expressive forms. And so for everyone, that may not be, in this case, for me, where it's a musical instrument or the voice. It can come through movement, it can come through drawing, art, it may happen through design, through cooking, through crocheting, ceramics, it could come through writing. And so there's a lot of different ways where our soul can sing, our soul can express itself, and we can find that deep connection to make manifest using our body. I think in my personal experience, it was a moment where I first saw or experienced the piano, and I heard it was actually this Samoan group, these three daughters harmonizing, singing a cappella, and it just drew me so much. Like I was so drawn to that, the sound of this harmony, and the piano, just the magic of the sound and watching someone play the piano. It just made no sense to me, but I was so drawn to it. And so I think if we have that awareness, we can discover that at any moment on our journey in life. And it may be multiple things, right? Through different seasons of life, as we move upward, move forward in life. I think that awareness of looking for those things and realizing those things that really call to us and that draw us, there's something there. And there could be something really special and magical in those things that your soul is identifying with and wants to express. Yeah.
And Jade, I just wanted to say that for myself, you know, although it's not been music, but dance, I think I started Nia in my late 30s. And then I didn't start hula till about 49. And
You have
yeah,
an
so
amazing story with hula too, Doris. How when you saw Kumu Malia dancing that one time. You told me that.
oh yes, yes, yes. So yeah, just early on, Malia had danced a hula about the snow goddess of the Big Island of Mauna Kea. And she was dancing in the barefoot ballroom, and she made me see snow. As she danced, I saw snow swirling around her. And I thought, what kind of, you know, magical dance form is this? It's just, you know, and needless to say, I was hooked. And it is a lifelong goal of mine to dance so that I can convince someone that I am that element of nature, you know, that it's just, that's how powerful it can be. And it only happened one other time. One other hula dancer I saw at a hula festival, and she was leaning down to drink water from a stream. And I saw that stream appear in front of her. And this was on grass. And so, yeah, when done right, and when done with, I think, the correct, I don't know. I really don't know what to credit it to, but you know, it can be that magical. And perhaps, you know, if that's what you're looking for, it may appear, but you're still young yet. And, you know, for myself, all of this, you know, came in my middle age, and I understand this year I'm stepping out of middle age. So I'm out of that demographic, but you know, it's just never too late is what I'm trying to say. And just keep looking, it'll find you, I'm sure, you know. But I just want to give you hope because it's not like I've been dancing my whole life. I love dance so much now, but I can't believe that I never did it when I was younger, you know.
Thank you, Dustin. And thank you, Doris. Beautiful answers.
What I heard coming from them is to stay open for magic.
And I have to say, taking hula, I know exactly what she's talking about because I've seen it in Kumu, but I've also watched Doris dance, and it just is transforming to me.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Dustin. That was quite magical. Didn't know how ready I was for that magic to happen today.
Thanks, everybody.
Aloha.
Great job, buddy.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.